Right, for more build-up to Euro 2024 and for all the latest on England and Scotland, we're going to join a man who knows quite a lot about both nations, who's in Germany right now, Chris Sutton, who joins us. Chris, fantastic to see you, mate. Thank you so much for going on. Just a day to go. Before we get into the nations and who's going to win what and so on, a recent survey suggested that more fans prefer watching the matches at home in their own houses rather than going down the pub. I mean, this was a shock to me as a Geordie, Chris, I've got to be honest, but what are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, good morning, Pete. Good morning. Yes, 72% of fans, I'm reliably informed, would rather watch games at home than in the pub. Now, I get portrayed as a bit of the celebration police at times, but Roku have got this wonderful headphone mode, which I'd recommend to absolutely anybody watching football. So, yeah, that survey surprised me a little bit, and it's whatever you prefer, but yeah, what Roku are doing is really innovative, and yeah, I recommend people listen.
And Chris, we're going to get your thoughts on not just on England but on Scotland as well. But just to start with England, obviously they are one of the big favourites going into the tournament. When you look at the squads, how do you assess their chances?
I think, like anybody else, I am so excited about England midfield going forward. I think we have the best attacking lineup in the tournament, but like anybody else, just heard Rob Dorset there talk about John Stones and him being unwell at this moment in time. I think most pundits and people feel that defensively that is an area of concern. Of course, Luke Shaw, good to see him back in training. He's going to need to get up to speed quickly. Kieran Trippier, right-footed left back. You know, it'll be interesting to see how that works. I know he's played there before, but I think defensively it's an area of concern. But as I say, going forward, Foden, Palmer, Saka, Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham, I mean, wonderful attacking players who can hurt any team.
Defensively, Chris, I mean, you're right. I think that's where most England fans have got slight concern. I suppose we're sort of all hoping that someone like Mark Guéhi or Lewis Dunk or Ezri Konsa or Joe Gomez or one of these guys is just going to emerge in this tournament as an absolute international superstar, which can happen at major tournaments. Out of nowhere, someone might just sort of come out and sort of prove that they can do it at the very highest level, and that's what Southgate will be hoping.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. Somebody has to emerge. I mean, I think everybody felt that the centre-half partnership starting against Serbia would be Stones and Mark Guéhi, who's had an excellent season at Crystal Palace. But if John Stones is unwell, then whether it's a Dunk or a Konsa, whoever, they're going to have to form a formidable central defensive partnership for England to really go far in this tournament.
And Chris, I know you were listening to Rob Dorset talk just before you came on the show, and obviously no decisions have been made yet on Gareth Southgate's future. Do you think he would step down if England don't go on and win the whole thing out in Germany?
Yeah. Oh, blimey. That's a question and a half. He seems to have hinted that that's going to be the case, doesn't he? But I'd sort of wondered why this conversation. I mean, maybe he was asked the question, but I think it was with a German with Bilder, I think, where he came and sort of. And questioned whether he would be there at the end of the tournament if England didn't win it. So I'm surprised at the timing of that. I think that, most people would have liked to have seen Gareth just concentrate on the football, and at the end of the tournament, if he felt like stepping down, then of course he's well within his rights to do so. I'm a big Gareth Southgate fan. I think he has done brilliantly since he's gone in as England manager. You think about the situation he took over, got to a World Cup semi-final, a Euros final, a penalty kick or two away from actually winning the Euros. So I think if he looks at his squad this time round, I think England have a great opportunity. But I would want Gareth to stay on beyond this tournament.
Yeah, I'm with you, Chris, actually. I think, it's England fans, we look forward to major tournaments now. It used to be something I would dread going into a major tournament because you knew there'd be heartache on its way. But I mean, we are talking about it purely because the FA have said there's a succession plan in place if if, and it is a big if, Southgate goes, who do you think would be the person or people that might come in? Would you go English or British? Would you go for a foreign option, someone like Pochettino? Or some people have said Pep Guardiola this morning. The viewers have been tweeting in.
Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola. Yeah, I mean, it's. I think this is. I mean, it's a wait and see. Let's wait till Gareth makes that decision first and foremost. But you want the best person possible for the job. I couldn't care less whether they're English, Scottish, German, Spanish, whoever. You want the best candidate for the job, and it's as simple as that.
And we've spoken there about England at length, I suppose, Chris. As for Scotland, then, so excited because, of course, they kick it all off against Germany tomorrow. How do you see them getting on?
Oh, I mean, what an opening game it's going to be against Germany, where I just feel, I mean, I'm over in Munich now, I just sort of sense, flew over yesterday, that there isn't a great expectation from the German public, which there normally is going into a major tournament. I think Scotland can view this as an opportunity. I think there are people out there who are thinking this is a free hit for Scotland. I don't view it that way. I think that under Steve Clarke, people will talk about their recent form in friendlies. I think they've won one out of the last 9 games, but they had some tricky fixtures in there and actually tested themselves. But we learned from qualifying, Scotland are a well-balanced team, really well-balanced team. I think there are areas of concern in terms of, you spoke about England's centre-back dilemma. I think Scotland and Steve Clarke have a dilemma there on who to actually pick. Grant Hanley hasn't played a lot of football at Norwich City this last season, but Steve Clarke likes him. I suspect we may see him start. And of course, up front, will it be Lawrence Shankland or Shay Adams? I think Steve Clarke will probably go for Shay Adams, who is probably a better leader of the line than Lawrence Shankland. But Lawrence Shankland's a phenomenal finisher. But I'm looking forward to the game because I think Steve Clarke and Scotland will view this as an opportunity. And if Germany are slightly off it, then I do feel that Scotland could get a positive result. But Germany at home, you can't really see past them, in this game. But it's a big. But Julian Nagelsmann has gone in there, went in the autumn, and they had a couple of morale-boosting wins in March against the Netherlands and France, and he'll be hoping they can carry on that form.
It would be so nice to see Scotland just get out of the group, Chris, wouldn't it? There's something they've never done before, and I guess that's sort of the dream, isn't it? Scotland to progress out of the group, England maybe to go a couple better and then maybe even win the thing. But do you think Scotland can do that? Do you think they can get the results they need? Like you say, if you get a positive result, as you've suggested, against Germany, then you'd fancy their chances.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Hungary, we've seen in recent years that they're a very awkward team, got some phenomenal players, Szoboszlai, and the Swiss, albeit you feel that they're a little bit on the decline, a bit of an ageing team, but they're very, very capable. But I look at Scotland's midfield, the players they have in there, that's another decision that Steve Clarke will have to make. Will it be Gilmour or Christie? But you think McTominay had a phenomenal campaign in terms of scoring goals. John McGinn, what a brilliant player he is. And Callum McGregor, I've seen a lot of him over the years at Celtic, is a wonderful, wonderful footballer. So Scotland's midfield stands up to most midfields in this competition. So it's how brave they are on the ball, how are they going to get up the pitch, and whether they can prey on a little bit of German hesitation if the Germans aren't right at it.
Right, Chris, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time. I'm going to go away and think a little bit about this, watching it at home instead of the pub. The only problem is I can't throw my beer in the air at home if England score, because wife would kill me. So
well, you can do.
I could try it. Yeah, that's true. Thanks for joining us, mate. Enjoy the tournament, and we'll chat to you very soon.
Brilliant. Thank you.